Okay, guys, gotta love solid state drives. Now I just have the computer rebooted. It's back up and running, and looks like everything is functional. Let's see. Display capture. Of course, that's acting up. Hold on. That's not. Okay, display capture. There we go. Okay, so let's do take two. Try that again. And let's load up Steam. There we go. Okay, so as I mentioned before, I did do a bit of testing with the Formula Renault at Lime Rock Park, which are two pieces of content that are unoptimized. And actually, it worked pretty well. And I will just go over on my stream a little bit of the specs again and can just show you what I am running. Right now, I'm just running triple screens. To answer a question that was asked by Atanas. I apologize if I'm butchering your name. I have tried virtual reality in a sim environment. I have not tried it with rFactor 2. I don't own a headset just yet. One of my friends said he might loan me his HTC Vive in the near future, so I will try that with rFactor 2. Hopefully with VR it might be a little more polished, but I have tried the Oculus Rift with Project Cars 2, Project Cars 1, Assetto Corsa, and iRacing. So hopefully that answers your question. And let's get rFactor 2 started. Okay, Gonzalo Alvalos, thank you for the message, and it is pretty awesome, like having fans from uh, Argentina. So, rFactor 2 versus Automobilista. I would say, in terms of the content that is available, I would say Automobilista is slightly better than rFactor 2 because it has a more fleshed out roster. Uh, rFactor 2 has a pretty decent roster of first party content, and then some of the third party content is truly incredible, but you are still quite limited. Automobilista, you have the Brazilian stock car, you have the Australian V8 supercars, you have a buttload of Formula One eras. You have one modeled after the 2017 Formula One cars. You have the vintage, you have the 70s, 80s, 90s, 20s, 2010s, so on. And then but I would say, in terms of the potential and the technology powering it, I would say rFactor 2 is better. rFactor 2 definitely is more dynamic. Some of the Automobilista effects are somewhat canned. Uh, Atanis, I did answer the question for virtual reality. Basically, I have tried virtual reality with other titles. I don't own a headset yet, so I haven't tested it in a set or in Factor 2. I have tested it out in Project Cars 1 and Project Cars 2. I have tested it out in rFactor, or no, not rFactor, Assetto Corsa, and iRacing. I also got to test out Ace Combat 7 with the PSVR, which was kind of fun. Okay, so one of the new cars is the IndyCar W12. So let's take that around the Indianapolis road course, which I believe they are racing at next week. So we can see how that is with the new content. Hold on. This is seriously. Okay, I think there's something weird. Like the sound defaulted to my speakers, but I just want to take a look and see if it's working. Damn it. Looks like it's not. Hold on. Okay, I think there's something weird. The sound defaulted to my speakers, but I just want to take a look and see it working. Damn it. Looks like it's not. Hold on. Let's take a look at something. Okay, for some reason the image isn't showing. I think that's something on OBS. That's not on rFactor 2's end. Yeah, Tanis, I heard that people are getting FPS drops due to DirectX 11. I've been kind of fortunate not to, so I'm calling myself lucky. Except I've right now only tested out one thing. Where I've only tested out one car and track combination. So I would say right now it is working okay for me. We'll see how it is with later content. Hold on. For 15 minutes or so? Okay. Let's try something. This is kind of frustrating, but I want to make sure this is working. Okay, let's try that. Okay, I mentioned in that earlier stream that went kind of bad that I am using a GTX 970 and I am running a AMD 8350. So let me just check and see if this is working now. I am running. Are you kidding me? Well, that's kind of irritating. Sorry about this. Hold on. Okay, there we go. It's working now. Okay, it somehow got knocked off center. So, hold on. Let me just make sure. Okay, there we go. Okay, yeah. Okay, looks like everyone can see the screen. So I am going to be running Indianapolis 2014 Grand Prix variant with the Delar DW12. So that's just what I'm going to run for this test run. I'll show you a quick run through of my options. So as I said, I am running mostly everything at high, and I just have road reflection off because I didn't really like the issue that I'm going through. And I mentioned also that I'm running triple screens, 5760 by 1080 with a GTX 970. You can also see I'm running the AMD FX 8350, and I have 16 gigs of RAM. It looks like 15 gigs usable in this. That's weird. I'm running Windows 10, but this is showing I'm running Windows 8. Huh. That's funny. I basically am running stock with these, with the plugins. And Gonzalo, Let me see. You are, I would say that might be kind of low settings for the triple screens, but you can play with triples. I just say you wouldn't want it maxed out. Just shoot for 60 frames as a minimum, and you should be running well. So I give you a quick run through of that. Okay. Let's give this a go. Just want to check one thing. Okay, sound is working. So as I mentioned before, I did test out this setup, and I got 94 frames per second at Lime Rock Park with the Formula Renault using triple screens, which was pretty good, especially considering that's unoptimized content. So let's see what this is showing. Okay, this is showing 57 frames in the pits. Yeah, I think, oh wow. Okay, so in the top, you should see my frame rates. So far, not horrible, but nothing to write home about. Oh, shoot. I was thinking over. Whoops. That's my blooper of the day. Okay. I don't think I have any V-Sync or anything on either, so... Hold on. I don't need these headphones. Yeah, this is lower frame rate than what I was getting before. Some slight stutters, but it's still pretty decent. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt due to it being an open beta. If this was like a release product, I would have been more upset, but this is a beta. Oh, new achievement, 2,000 kilometers achieved in practice. Not a big fan of the rFactor because this is a pretty fresh install. I loaded a solid state drive in my computer a few months back, so I had to reinstall all my sims, things like that. But yeah, shaking off a bit of rust. But yeah, I believe Patrick, it's just a matter of time before they fix the FPS thing. I will say, driving the unoptimized track, I was surprised at the frame rate I was getting. It was pretty well optimized. It was driving pretty smooth, and that's one of the main complaints I've had with rFactor 2, the smoothness. You weren't really getting too smooth driving experience with the cars. Even if you were driving at high frame rates, it felt a bit off. So when I was driving with Lime Rock Park with the Formula Renault, I was shocked at how well it was driving. I'll show you guys in a little bit later, and hopefully it will be similar. Yeah, this stutter though, yeah, that's iffy. Does not feel like 60 frames per second. And I think I have a bit of a theory. So recently, I know this is a bit of a tangent, but recently I bought a Nintendo Switch, and they were talking about Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and how it was smoother than the original Mario Kart 8 for the Wii U. And that was because the Wii U version was rendering at somewhat like 59 frames per second with a frame skip. And then the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for Nintendo Switch is rendering at true 60 frames per second. So the Mario Kart 8 for Wii U and also Mario Kart 7 for the 3DS, it was not, it wasn't rendering like 59 frames per second natively. It was rendering each frame as if it was 60 frames per second. But then it would skip 1 frame per second. So it created one micro jitter that lasted 1/60th of a second, and that would go on every second or so. So I'm wondering if it's something similar to rFactor 2, what's going on. So, kind of weird, but I wonder if it's something similar. Because there is definite jitters. It's weird. Don't really know how to explain it. But I will say, when this is optimized, like weirdly, driving with the unoptimized content, it was like, wow, that's good. I don't know if they've made any change with the Delara DW12. It feels slightly improved over what was before. The original launch of the DW12, I believe it was back in 2014, it really wasn't that great. It felt way too planted. It felt weird to drive. You could easily mash the throttle. This feels like a minor improvement over that, including the optimizations for DirectX 11. So I believe that could be a solid benefit. Yeah, in the settings, oh, dang. I just got rammed. But yeah, so I would say that for 3 wide through the kink, and we survived somehow. But yeah, so with the way this works, I would say this car is a little livelier, I think. So I think there are some minor improvements. It feels like there's more lift-off oversteer. But yeah, this jitter, yeah. I'm not sure how noticeable it is in the stream, but yeah, it is iffy. So I'm just going to do one more lap with this, and then I will show you Lime Rock Park with the Formula Renault, which actually turned out to be a good combination. So yeah, I would say there's potential here. It feels pretty solid, except, oh, this jitter. It really sort of defeats the purpose. Oh crap, stalled the car. Yeah, that ain't going anywhere. Well, yeah, this jitter really throws you off. And yeah, you can really tell in some of the replay stuff. But I'd say, oh, that jump. But I'd say, judging from what I had before with the Formula Renault, I was pretty excited. Seeing this optimized content not being as good as what we saw I'm not sure what the full story of that is, but yeah, so let's take the Formula Renault to Lime Rock Park. Also, a weird hiccup. I'm using the triple screens, and you can't see it because I'm only rendering the center screen, but on the side screens, it freezes. Or not really freezes, but it will show the track, the replay on where you were last. So, interesting. So, Lime Rock Park, no chicanes. I know, the pansy way. But I would say this is at least a decent benchmark. Okay. So if you look, let's render it the top right. Okay, I'm at 80 frames. So it might be lower frames because I'm streaming, but yeah, you can see so much smoother. Kind of funny that the arms are moving because I thought I set arms to fixed, or maybe that was before this crashed and I lost those settings. But yeah, so let's take a look. Yeah, this is so much smoother, even though like the frame rate's looking at around the same. But yeah, the car does feel livelier though. I'm not sure, could be just placebo effect, or it's also my first time driving this sim with the new Fanatec. But yeah, it's a lot smoother than the optimized content. Kind of weird. I mean, it's not perfect. I still feel a little jitteriness. But yeah, this is what it should feel like. To an extent. I mean, do the fine tuning, Studio 397. It needs it. Whoa! Okay, save that, kind of. 360. Meant to do that. Okay. BR Tourist, I cannot read that while driving, sorry. Lumrock, okay, downloading now. Take gauges from the front. Whoa, 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 yeah, don't read while driving, guys. Or else your force feedback will go insane for driving on the ground and you'll think you have a butt kicker under you. Unless you do have a butt kicker under you, then that will be going nuts and yeah. But yeah, it's interesting though, because as I mentioned before, this is the unoptimized content. So I don't know if there's something weird with... actually, I didn't notice anything weird with the shaders. They made a note that in the changelog that you might have issues with shaders, but this was okay for me. But yeah, hold on. One guy said it's stuttering. Yeah, there's some minor stutters, but it's nothing compared to what I was seeing with the IndyCar. So that's interesting. Next up, I think I'll take the Nissan GTR for a spin, because that's another piece of optimized content. We can see how that works. My racing line is complete garbage here. Let's try to have a good lap in. While reading and driving. Not smart. So, Atanas, the optimized content is utilizing new DirectX 11 shaders and like improved headlights and things like that. The unoptimized are basically how they were in the old DX9 current build for rFactor 2. So it shows that some DirectX 9 content is still compatible, but hopefully as this beta goes through and becomes more stable, the optimized content will show more improvement and really showcase what rFactor 2 is capable of in DirectX 11. So that's what I would say is the big draw of the optimized content. So I'm thinking for the rest of this test, lost it. But yeah, so next up, I'm gonna take the Nissan GTR, and then I might give a go with the stock car. See how that runs. So let's lift this thing home, guys.
That was a 51.79.
So, the content that is optimized is the stuff that is newly uploaded. So, that would be the new stock cars, that would be the IndyCar, the Nissan GT500, and also the US Formula 2000. The tracks, hold on. Alright, the tracks that are improved are the Indianapolis course, I believe also NOLA Motorsports Park, possibly Atlanta Motorsports Park. But the easiest way is to go into the Steam Workshop and look up the most recent content. And I believe it's like the most recent 10 pieces of content, and those are the newly updated stuff. So let's do an experiment. Let's see how this performs on a third-party circuit. So optimized content, non-optimized third-party circuit. Let's take a look. So I think I'm going to wrap this stream up around 9:30 or so. So that's in about 45 minutes. I promised my friend that I would challenge him at some Mario Kart. I know that's somewhat sacrilege, but hey, sometimes even I need to unwind at times. And sometimes I need to throw a blue shell at my best friend. And maybe a couple red shells. And a banana or two. You get the idea. Also, I put this funny post up earlier. Mario Kart, the perfect simulation of public server lobbies. Okay, so let's take a look at the frame rate. Oh, wow, we're getting 41 in the pits. 43, 40. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this... I was getting like 70 or so, I believe, in DirectX 9 mode. Wow. I'm getting 50. It's drivable, but... Yeah, this is... It's drivable. I'm kind of shocked. No real stutters. Yeah, it's not really stuttering, but the frame rate. I'm just checking how it looks for you guys. And, I mean, yeah, it looks about the same on the stream as it is right now. I would say it's by no means undrivable. At the very least, the frame rate feels kind of consistent. There isn't really much in the way of stuttering. I also factor in, as of right now, this is just me single car being rendered. I'm ahead of the other cars, so I don't know if that would get worse with more cars in front, but yikes. I would love to see Virtual LM upload a newer version of this track that's DX11 optimized, because Sebring's one of my favorites. But woo! Maybe I'll skip to a race session and see how it drops. But yeah, this is no bueno, guys. Not too great, but I'm gonna say again, this is publicly acknowledged as a beta. Yeah. Let's see, can I see my face? I don't really want to look at my face while driving, but yeah, time will tell. This is definitely early beta. I mean, this is day one of the beta release. They said they're going to optimize it further and whatnot, but hey, let's hope this sees some major improvements. Because one of the backbones of rFactor 2 is the third-party modding community. You want that third-party community, and that is important. They said they've been in talks with the community for a couple months now. They released, I think, some early beta or alpha builds to the community, like to the modders, to work on getting their content. And hopefully in the very near future, we'll see some content that is built with DX11 in mind. And as time comes, we can see this improve. But with this beta, I am cautiously optimistic. There is the potential here. There is the, like, I can feel the inklings of smoothness underneath this, like, exterior. I can definitely see how this can be improved in a month or so, but with how it is right now, Alright, Atanus or Atanus, thanks for watching. I am going to be switching to the stock car in a few minutes, and yeah, that'll be interesting. But yeah, it's funny when this at 42 or 38, 40, 42 frames per second almost feels smoother than the optimized content at 60. That just doesn't make sense. But yeah, time will tell, and hopefully this gets resolved. You know, guys, that I'm a big advocate for rFactor 2, but this definitely does need improvement. It does. Because once this is dialed in, once this is optimized, this is going to be awesome, but it definitely isn't that yet. Hopefully with the new UI update in a few weeks, this should get even better. But right now, yeah! Whoa, whoa. Oh, that was a nice slide save. Woo! I think I'll land while I'm ahead as I spin. Let's take a look at that save. So I got in the dirt here. That's Tokyo Drift right there, guys. Boom. Okay, let's pull out the stock car. Pull off the rim. And put on the Forza Motorsport rim. I will say, if you guys watched my first drive of the Fanatec Club Sport Wheel V2.5, I mentioned I am quite impressed by this wheel. It is pretty nice. I'll say that. I really enjoyed it. I recommend that if you haven't watched it yet. I think I might need to tweak the force feedback, though. Yeah, let's do that. Also, I want to turn off that head vibration into head physics. Hey, Seth. Awesome to see you here. I actually do enjoy your videos. Yeah, I'd be down to do a stream sometime. Right now, I am kind of crunched for time. I am working on my short film for school, and that is due this Thursday. This Friday, or this weekend too, I'm going to a film festival in my town. So this week, I'm pretty darn swamped, but after that, I should be pretty open. I think my semester is starting to get on its way out. So, yeah, if you want, you can look me up on Facebook, William David Marsh. Also, you can send me an email, william@simracingpaddock.com or whatever, and we can figure that out. Let's just do Indianapolis. Trying Endo Racers. I believe I tried that before. Oh, sorry to disappoint you, Gonzalo. There aren't Brazilian stock cars in rFactor 2, to my knowledge, legally yet. But I will road race the stock car after doing Indianapolis, and we can see how that works. Oh, man. Been toasty today. Got up to 90 degrees. For the record, that's Fahrenheit, not Celsius. Well, I'm not boiling. But yeah, 90 degrees Fahrenheit is pretty high. I want to say that's like 31 degrees Celsius. Okay, so let's see. We tested Indianapolis before and wasn't anything to write home about. Oh! 33 frames. Yikes. Ugh. That's kind of scary. Yeah, Media Junkie, I will say that these cars are a hoot on road courses. So, yeah, 33 frames per second. Brings back memories of the console NASCAR games. I was hoping it would get a little bit better once we're on the track. Very, very slightly better. But yeah, I do enjoy the rFactor 2 stock cars. The only downside is, I would say iRacing stock cars feel slightly more immersive. I prefer the sounds, but in terms of the NASCAR physics, I believe rFactor 2 has them beat. rFactor 2 might be a little too grippy in some parts, but all in all, these are a pretty solid package. It feels very bumpy though at times, but yeah, I'll say this is drivable at 40 frames per second again. Similar to what I was talking about at Sebring, but nowhere near ideal. I would love to see at least double this frame rate, and I was seeing around that ballpark with rFactor 2 with DirectX 9, I think. I was getting about 60, 70, and maybe even 80, but with this, yikes. So, as much as I was looking forward to seeing rFactor 2 with DirectX 11, I'm likely going to have to revert back to DX9 for the time being. To get the enjoyment out of rFactor 2. But I will say, this has a lot of potential. It could be worse, guys. It could be worse. I'll put it that way, and you can take what you mean about it. Hopefully in the near future, I will say I should have a test drive of some sims with the HTC Vive, and have some other exciting stuff that is in development, but for now I'm going to keep it a secret. And you can definitely subscribe to SRP, and we will bring in some pretty exciting stuff. And I will say, should be worth the wait. Ooh. I was reading one in the wall. I will say, there is the thing I love about rFactor 2 is the way the track dynamically evolves. Because we were just under cloud cover, now we're getting out from cloud cover, and you can dynamically see it lighten up. So that's still there. I still love that feeling. But yeah, 40 frames. And yeah, it's tough. I think I'm going to try doing a video later on talking about frame rate versus immersion and graphics, because in sim racing you really do want the frame rate higher, and I will say that sometimes you do need to sacrifice graphics for frame rate, but I will say there is that fine line where I would say, like, you want at least 60 for a racing title. More is usually better, unless you are wanting like V-Sync or things like that. Keep it capped at 60, things like that. Gonzalo, rFactor 2 in 5-7 years. I would say if they get this dialed in, or actually when they get this dialed in, when they get the frame rate smooth, things like that, there will be a lot of potential. But also, it'll come down to how much Studio 397 is looking to invest in rFactor 2, because this, some of the biggest issues with rFactor 2 was that they weren't, to an extent, ISI wasn't going as far to help the community as they were with rFactor 1. And beware, this is my opinion. I'm not chewing out ISI or anything. Actually, I kind of am, but they gave some of the tools for the modders, but they didn't fully explain how to use them. They made it difficult for the third-party community to make the quality cars and tracks like how there were in the original rFactor. So I would say the main things that Studio 397 needs to do is create a quality platform for the third-party community. Make sure it's a true evolution. Make sure it's a solid step ahead, which the groundwork is there for rFactor 2 as it is right now. It is definitely a solid platform. With how it is right now, also, it's shine content. Endu Racers is the most fleshed out third-party mod, per se, and it's still kind of bare bones compared to some of the other quality mods for the original rFactor. So we need to get more quality content for rFactor 2. We need better tracks, we need better cars, we need that ecosystem be fleshed out, and time will tell if that pays off. I'm hoping it does. I enjoy rFactor 2. It is one of my favorite sims for like just hooning around in the cars, wearing out the tires realistically, and just knowing like, yeah, this is pretty close to how it would be in real life. But I would say there is a lot of room for improvement, and if it doesn't improve, it will unfortunately suffer. Especially with seeing how iRacing's improving. They incorporated dirt racing, which is something that used to be a staple for the original rFactor. If rFactor 2 had the loose surface racing, I know a lot of people would migrate from rFactor 1 to rFactor 2. And the groundwork is laid out there. ISI did the Interceptor with Lost Valley, and it wasn't half bad for a dirt track. If the rFactor 2 community found a way to reverse engineer that and make some dirt ovals and things like that, that could have been a boon for rFactor 2. Unfortunately, that's not the case. We don't have dirt ovals. We don't have like street stock, sprint cars, late models, etc. So iRacing won the battle there. And then there is the potential where we have endurance racing support in rFactor 2, but we are quite limited in the content that is supported with multi-class racing. Look at iRacing. They have the Tudor United Sports Car Championship. They have like LMP2s. They have GT3. They have all of this. Look at rFactor 2. The only first-party GT3 car they have is a Chevrolet Camaro. Yeah. While Assetto Corsa has like 7 GT3 cars, iRacing has 5, Race Room has like 7. They're getting beat out there. So I would say there is a beauty in helping the third-party community, but at the same time, rFactor 2 needs to develop itself as well. That is definitely something that Studio 397 really needs to pick up on, and I'm really hoping they do. Because if they do, rFactor 2 will be an incredible title. But ball's in your court, Studio 397. Let's see what you do with it. So here's a good question for you guys. What would you like to see content-wise in rFactor 2? Personally, I would have loved to see my home track, Sonoma Raceway. It's a circuit that's underrepresented in my opinion. iRacing has it, Race Room has it, and I believe the licensing thing with Sim Raceway went out the door when Sim Raceway folded, so what's stopping rFactor 2 from getting it? And also with karting, Sonoma has a great kart track. It has like 6 different configurations, so that could be also a valuable addition to rFactor 2 as well. That's something I would like to see. I'd like to hear what you'd like to see. Okay, let's try this puppy at a road course and then we'll wrap things up. Oh, I just hit that cone. Bye, cone. But yeah, it's interesting. The replay is jittery until you hit full screen. Sort of reminds me of how it sometimes is in Premiere, where it's jittering until you have it like rendered or something. But okay, let's try a track. Also, I wish they had Sonoma so I could race cup cars there. Okay, I'm thinking I'm gonna go crazy. Let's try Bathurst. So, one thing I am gonna do though, I'm gonna take the WIMP approach. Turn on invulnerability. I'm not great at Bathurst, so with the cup car, that's gonna be a nightmare. Okay, Ben Thompson. Problem with content and player numbers is the number of sims is diluting the numbers for each game. Companies that can afford licenses win out. I will agree on that. It's like an example of you know what you know. Because look at Gran Turismo, Forza Motorsport. They are by far the best selling racing titles because I would say sheer numbers. Gran Turismo 6 pushing over 1,000. Granted, half the cars were garbage. They were PS2 models, but that's 500 some odd premium numbered cars. And then Forza Motorsport had about 600, I think. And all sorts of different manufacturers. So that was a huge benefit for everyone involved. And people, like, I was able to drive my first car in Forza Motorsport 4, I believe, which was the 1971 Datsun 510. And that car was in Forza Motorsport, so I got to drive it. And yeah, compared to like all the different cars, I would say it was definitely nice to have my first car, like sort of nostalgia and whatnot. Gonzalo, do you think RF2 will be crackable as happened with rFactor 1? Hold on, stalled the car while reading. I would say I'm not sure about it being as crackable because of the Steam DRM. I would say it might not be as crackable. So I'm not sure. I don't really pay attention to the video game gray market or anything like that, but yeah. Okay, so we're getting 48, 49, like ballpark at the car with Bathurst. Whew. Oh, this is scary, guys. I do not have the big balls required to drive this series, this track in real life. I applaud those drivers that can do that and push 110% or so, just flying down. Oh, crap. I caught the wall there that unsettled the car, and that's all she wrote, guys. Yeah, I won't say this is by any means unplayable. It's kind of irritating. Sim Racing Enthusiast. I am not playing on TV. I am playing on 3 BenQ 24-inch monitors. So yeah, I used to play on a 32-inch Samsung TV, which admittedly is not ideal. Like, these monitors are definitely a step up, even though I still need some work on my driving skills, but yeah. Let's try to get a good clean lap in. Okay, thanks for the input, Ben. Man, you can really feel the car going under load, bouncing up and down as you break into this corner. I apologize for not speaking too much during this lap. This is definitely, I would say, this is as challenging, if not more so, than the Nordschleife. The Nordschleife I've driven so much, I can drive it pretty well now. This, on the other hand, nope! Yeah, Ben, my pastor, he might not say that. He's from New Zealand. But yeah, this is definitely one of the most insane tracks in the world. Yeah, it's one of the few tracks where you go for a fight and then a race breaks out. Okay, let's try this one more time. I'm a glutton for punishment, guys. Oh, super unsettled there. If I don't make a clean lap here, I'm gonna have nightmares about it, I bet. But man, all this footwork required. Whew. If you ever want to feel inadequate about your driving skills, watch some of those NASCAR footwork videos. Where, for example, I think there was one, Dale Jarrett or something, and heeling towing in the 90s at Sonoma. I mean, that is just crazy. Whoa. Little power on oversteer. Yeah, frame rate's taking a hit. I'd say I'm driving at about 70%. I just want to survive, guys. I was fifth. No! Okay. I'm not counting that. You didn't see anything, guys. Sounds like this one. I wish this car had a 5th gear. Okay, guys, I'm calling that a clean lap. You can put an asterisk if you want. Let's go one more. This might kill me, though. It's always fun driving like this, even if the frame rate is slightly less than ideal. I will try to keep on track and see if in the coming weeks this does get better, but if you are wanting at least a stable rFactor 2 experience, you're gonna want to hold off on loading the beta right now. I'll just say that. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a wrap after this lap. I did not mean for that to rhyme. I just do that all the time. Yes, I meant for that one to rhyme. I'll just shut up now. But if you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button down below, and I'll keep you up to date on the latest developments with rFactor 2, as well as other things going on. And then, from there, I will also have some exciting things coming up this summer that you'll want to stay tuned on. And we will definitely have some exciting stuff. Also, I will be posting some new things in the forums for you to discuss. I'd love to see you guys on there and just being part of the community. So, I would love to hear more from you. Let us know what you want to see next, and I will definitely see what I can do about that. So, for the Sim Racing Paddock, I'm William Mars. and you guys definitely have a great rest of your day as I get past in the grass. And he's off. I'm off. We're having some fun. Let me just finish this lap. Let me finish this lap alive, guys. Whoa. Wait. Oh. Yeah, that didn't work. Ow.